The drama begins with Gina, the most well-known girl at school. Pretty, talented, and with a star-like aura. Not only does she stand out at school, she also trains at a company because she dreams of debuting as an idol. Her life is a mix of classes, practices, evaluations, and that constant pressure to always be perfect. Even so, she keeps her feet on the ground. When she sees someone being bullied, she jumps in to help without thinking twice. And that's why many people admire her even more. At the same school is Sung-ho, an ordinary calm boy, almost invisible to the school's social world. He doesn't seek attention, but he has been watching Gina from afar for a long time, with a quiet admiration. His best friend finds out one day and throws him a warning. Not to get his hopes up, because Gina supposedly already has a boyfriend and lives in a different reality. Sung-ho tries to ignore it, but every gesture from Gina stays etched in his mind. And the thing is, even though on the outside Gina seems to have everything, on the inside she's carrying a serious mess. Her relationship with Tak. He is her official boyfriend, but the relationship is broken. Tak isn't affectionate or attentive. He cares about his image and his control. When he appears in public with her, he wants everything to look good, even if inside it's a disaster. One day Tak tries to apologize for missing Gina's birthday, but it's obvious his sorry is more about saving face than fixing anything real. Gina, exhausted, decides to break up. She makes it clear she wants to end things, but Tak refuses and demands reasons, as if the breakup were a trial. Gina tells him she doesn't feel anything for him anymore and that, besides, she has a new boyfriend. Tak laughs and provokes her, sure she's making it up. Gina panics because she knows Tak won't leave her alone if he catches her lying. On impulse, she grabs a photo of some random guy to support her lie. And the photo turns out to be of Sung-ho. Tak doesn't believe the story, but he pressures her even more. He wants her to introduce him to the new boyfriend. Gina, trapped, promises she'll do it the next day. When Tak leaves, Gina realizes the huge problem she just created. So she runs to her friends to find the guy in the photo. There is Hannah, her best friend, who supports her, although she has a strong personality and distrusts anyone who gets close to Gina. In that search they run into Sung-ho's best friend, who panics when he sees them coming, thinking they're going to accuse or humiliate him. But through messages and clues, they end up locating Sung-ho. And Gina asks him to meet her on the school rooftop. Sung-ho goes up nervous and confused, not understanding why Gina is looking for him. When he arrives, Gina stands right in front of him and drops a request that freezes him. She wants him to be her boyfriend. Sung-ho doesn't understand anything. Gina, so he won't get romantic, explains quickly. It's not for love, it's for a temporary arrangement. She needs someone to pretend to be her boyfriend so that Tak will leave her alone and accept the breakup. Sung-ho is offended because he feels like she's using him and even mocking him. He tries to refuse and reminds her she has a boyfriend. Gina tells him she already ended it, but Sung-ho still doubts. He asks if she broke up with Tak because she likes him, and Gina brings him back to reality. She didn't even know he existed until recently. For her, this is a contract, period. Sung-ho rejects the idea, and Gina gets frustrated because she isn't used to someone telling her no. The clock moves on and Gina gets desperate. She promised to introduce her new boyfriend to Tak. If it's discovered she lied, she fears being humiliated and worse, getting trapped again with Tak. So she decides to tell Sung-ho the truth about her relationship. She explains that Tak has hurt her, made her feel bad, and acts as if she were a possession. Sung-ho goes quiet. For the first time he sees Gina as a tired girl trying to protect herself, not as the unreachable one. That honesty breaks his resistance. Sung-ho ends up agreeing to help her, even though he frames it as a sacrifice. To make it official, Gina proposes a contract with rules. No confusing feelings, no drama, and during that time Sung-ho can't date another girl. Sung-ho agrees, but he also sets small conditions that are huge to him. He wants to call her by her name and walk with her after class. Gina agrees, but she emphasizes that this isn't real, just a deal. Sung-ho hesitates before signing. He thinks about his mom, who used to insist on being honest. But in the end he signs, because for him being close to Gina is already something he never imagined. And the final test arrives. Going to introduce himself as her boyfriend. After class, Gina meets Tak, who is waiting, sure she will fail. He asks where the new boyfriend is and takes the chance to hint that they should get back together, promising that, this time he'll behave. Gina holds up under the pressure, until, at the last moment, Sung-ho appears. He stands in front of Tak and confirms he is Gina's boyfriend. Tak is left in shock. Gina clings to Sung-ho and drags him away fast, like she's escaping a cage. From there, Sung-ho's life changes. At home, his dad finds out he's dating someone and gets excited, jokes with him, and gives him advice. He throws out the classic father advice, that the simplest way to win over a girl is with small gestures and food. Sung-ho takes it seriously. At lunch he notices Gina doesn't have much, buys her something, and gives it to her. Gina is surprised, smiles, and Sung-ho feels like he won the day. Encouraged, Sung-ho waits for her so they can walk home together, but Gina stops him. She tells him they shouldn't walk together, that she can go alone. Sung-ho remembers another piece of his dad's advice. Don't be clingy, give her space. He lets her go, even though it's hard. And right then the irony hits. Gina runs into Tak, feels uncomfortable, and comes back running to ask Sung-ho to walk with her. Sung-ho agrees, surprised, and understands that the acting has to be stronger than he thought. So Tak won't suspect. Gina decides they need to actually get to know each other. She invites him to eat, they talk, and they discover shared tastes. Sung-ho also offers to wait for her when training ends, even if it's late. Gina thinks he'll get tired, but when she comes out, she finds him truly waiting for her. That detail touches her, because she isn't used to promises being kept. In that back and forth, Gina asks for his number, he gives it to her, and they start texting more often, as if the contract had opened a door to a trust neither expected. On another occasion, Gina goes out with her friends and texts Sung-ho to come by a nearby cafe. Sung-ho arrives with his friend, happy that she's looking for him. The problem is the friend acts weird and nervous, and that irritates Hannah, who always protects Gina and doesn't trust just anyone. The atmosphere gets uncomfortable, Gina gets bored, and the group almost leaves. To save the outing, Sung-ho suggests a special place where they sell amazing food. It's a spot he usually keeps as his secret, so he suggests it confidently, as if it were the most normal plan in the world. When they arrive, the mood changes. They eat, relax, play around, and even take photos to remember the day. Hannah, though still serious, starts noticing Sung-ho doesn't have bad intentions. Meanwhile, Sung-ho's friend fits in better with Gina's friends and, without meaning to, that vibe forms that something could grow between him and Hannah, because sometimes they bickered, but they also understood each other. When Sung-ho has to leave, Gina decides to walk him home, something that surprises even her. He, by reflex, wants to walk her back, but Gina insists she has always walked alone and doesn't need anyone. Still, it's cold, and Sung-ho takes off his jacket and lends it to her so she won't get cold. Gina is touched by the gesture. From afar, Tak sees them and takes a photo, with that mix of anger and jealousy that makes him think he's losing something he took for granted. Days later, Gina comes back to return the jacket and runs into an ugly scene. Tak is bothering Sung-ho, pushing him and provoking him. Gina steps in, stands firm, and makes it clear to Tak that Sung-ho is her boyfriend and that he shouldn't touch him. Tak replies that he doubts the relationship and that he's going to prove it's all a lie. Gina, to shut him up, puts on an overly convincing performance. She acts affectionate with Sung-ho in front of Tak. Tak is left without arguments, but Gina pays the price afterward. Because Sung-ho feels used. For him, those gestures aren't just acting. He gets frustrated, scolds her, tells her she was reckless, and pulls away. Gina feels guilty, but she believes there was no other way to get Tak off her back. From then on, Sung-ho starts avoiding her at school, even though to everyone else they're still together. Gina keeps turning it over in her head, wondering if she already ruined the only thing that was starting to feel nice. Gina doesn't know how to fix it and goes to Sung-ho's friend for help. He, half annoyed and half honest, drops a truth that leaves her frozen. Sung-ho has been in love with her for a long time, since before the contract. He accepted because it was his only chance to be close. Gina is left thinking. For the first time she understands how heavy all of this is for him, and she also understands why he takes every gesture so personally. In the middle of those days, Sung-ho starts talking more with Hannah through school coincidences. He notices Hannah looks exhausted, pale, without energy. She confesses she has been restricting food for days to lose weight, because she wants to be an idol and believes that sacrifice is necessary. Sung-ho worries and encourages her to take care of herself, to eat something even if it's a little, not to destroy her health for a dream. Hannah, though she acts tough, is grateful that someone takes her seriously without mocking her. That support makes her see him differently and start confusing admiration with something more. Gina, seeing Sung-ho's distance, decides to confront him honestly. She tells him he also broke the contract by not being clear about his feelings from the start. Sung-ho answers that his feelings were always real, he just didn't know how to say it without looking crazy. Gina apologizes for what she did in front of Tak, and Sung-ho forgives her. They make up, and the atmosphere changes. It no longer feels like a favor, but like two people who are starting to like each other even though they began by mistake. In a school activity, Gina measures her heart rate, and when she sees Sung-ho appear, her heart speeds up. That leaves her uneasy. She starts accepting that maybe something real is growing in her too, and that the contract is already too small to explain what's happening. In those days, Sung-ho gives Gina a small gift to celebrate that they're together. It's not expensive, but it's meaningful. Gina receives it with a smile that doesn't look acted, and she shows it to her friends. Tak watches from afar and swallows his pride. Memories come back. When they were together, Gina gave him little gestures, tried to get close, and he ignored it. Now he sees Gina smiling over a detail he never knew how to value. But the romantic atmosphere doesn't last long, because disturbing signs appear. In Gina's locker, someone leaves a photo of her and a message implying that soon, they'll be together. At first, Gina tries to ignore it, thinking it's a nasty prank, but then she notices that sometimes things go missing, photos appear in weird places, and someone seems to be following her. The idea gives her chills, even if she acts tough. Also, a famous singer becomes a topic of conversation. Hannah wants to go to a concert, and it turns out Sung-ho is a fan. He gets excited talking about the artist, mentions songs, shares things, and Gina gets jealous, even if she tries to hide it. That discomfort combines with another alarm. Hannah is acting too close to Sung-ho, as if she were defending a spot. Gina even asks Hannah if she likes Sung-ho. Hannah denies it quickly, but her face gives her away. Gina doesn't start a fight, she just keeps the doubt to herself, without imagining how deep the resentment Hannah is building really is. One day, Gina invites Sung-ho to go to a concert together. Everything seems to be going well, until Sung-ho sees her sitting with Tak in a restaurant. The reason is a trap. Hannah had told Gina she had to meet someone important at the company's restaurant. When Gina arrives, that important person is Tak. Gina tries to leave, but Tak pressures her to talk and even pulls out gifts, trying to make up for his neglect. Gina makes it clear she never wanted gifts, she wanted respect and companionship. Sung-ho arrives, sees them together, and gets tense. He feels betrayed and argues with Gina. She defends herself, saying she didn't seek him out and that Hannah called her there, but he's hurt. They end up separated and Gina walks away alone, angry and wounded. And that's when the danger becomes real. Gina feels like she's being followed and comes face to face with the real person behind the messages. A student obsessed with her. He confesses he has been watching her for a long time, that he was waiting for her to break up with Tak, and that when it finally happened, he got furious seeing her with Sung-ho. The guy is mentally unstable. He gets agitated, turns aggressive, and repeats that he won't let her go. Gina tries to scare him with the idea of reporting him, but he doesn't react logically. She runs and he chases her. Sung-ho shows up in time. Tak was also nearby, worried about everything strange that had been happening. Messages, photos, missing things. In the tension, Sung-ho manages to distract the obsessed guy and Gina takes advantage to stop him with a hit that puts him down without going to extremes. Sung-ho had already called the police. When sirens sound, the obsessed guy tries to run and crosses paths with Tak. Tak, seeing evidence in his bag, understands the stalker was him. Between Tak and Sung-ho, they catch him and hand him over. Gina is shaking, but safe. Tak, for the first time, drops his pride and thanks Sung-ho. For Tak, it's a hard blow. He realizes that even though he wanted to get Gina back, she is now in real danger and his earlier obsession becomes ridiculous compared to what matters. Sung-ho decides that from that day on Gina will not walk alone. He walks her home and discovers Gina's parents are traveling. That unsettles him. Gina invites him to come in for a while, almost to calm him too. Sung-ho walks in nervously, looks around like it's a movie house, and ends up falling asleep from exhaustion. Gina watches him and laughs, but also feels tenderness. The boy who defended her at the most dangerous moment is now there, worn out, without any pose. There Gina admits to herself that he's no longer indifferent to her. The next day, Gina thanks Tak for his help and, seeking calm, agrees to be his friend again. Tak clings to that small door. It's not what he wanted, but at least he isn't hated. Soon after, a friend from the group invites them to spend a few days at her house. Gina goes, her friends, Sung-ho and his friend, and Tak shows up too. Sung-ho feels uncomfortable seeing him so close, especially when he hears that Gina and Tak now get along. Even so, he tries to stay calm so he won't seem insecure. On that mini vacation there are laughs and games, but also tension. In the kitchen, Hannah steps in to help Sung-ho with excuses. Sung-ho tries to be kind so he won't humiliate her and gives her simple tasks. But when Gina comes in, Sung-ho focuses so much on her that Hana feels invisible and fills up with jealousy. In a whispered questions game, the group laughs and teases. When it's Hana's turn, Tak asks a question about whether she likes someone there. Hana points toward Sung-ho. Gina feels uncomfortable. From then on, Gina gets jealous, even if she still won't admit it out loud. And to make it worse, Hana starts acting like Gina is the intruder. Later, Sung-ho and Gina go out for a walk. Hana gets a stomachache and texts Sung-ho to go with her to the pharmacy, but Sung-ho's phone battery dies, so he doesn't see the message. Hana sees them together, gets furious, and tells Tak the worst, that Gina and Sung-ho's relationship started as a contract and that now they're getting close as if it were real. Tak keeps that information as a weapon. Back at school, Hana explodes at Gina over anything. In an activity where they hand things out, Gina jokes and Hana blows up, accuses her of being selfish, and treats her badly. Tak confronts Hana and she admits she likes Sung-ho. Tak, instead of stopping her, manipulates her. He tells her to wait, that Gina will come back to him and Hana will get to stay with Sung-ho. That idea feeds Hana's worst version. In training, the coach announces they will charge money to those who aren't improving, pointing at Hana. Gina is outraged and defends her, saying it's unfair and that Hana works the hardest. The coach orders her to pay anyway. Gina tries to leave with Hana, but Hana rejects her coldly and decides to pay. That rejection breaks Gina. She leaves feeling like her years-long friendship is falling apart, and with the feeling that Hana now looks at her like an enemy. Gina runs to Sung-ho and tells him everything. Sung-ho listens, tells her she isn't wrong, that her heart is good and that's why it hurts her to see abuse. Gina fears losing her dream of being an idol because the company has become a toxic environment. Then Sung-ho shows her a video where she sings and suggests uploading it to YouTube. Gina gets excited, uploads it, and the video goes viral. She receives thousands of views, kind comments, and people recognizing her talent. For her, it's like breathing again. At home, her sister gets excited and insists on meeting him. Gina tries to say everything started as an agreement, but she ends up admitting that real affection grew. She promises herself that when the chaos passes, she will talk to Sung-ho honestly. Hana also sees that success. And instead of being happy, she fills with resentment. On top of that, the coach pressures her. The director is angry because Gina left, and they ask Hana to bring her back. Hana refuses, says she cut contact. But at the same time, she opens a link where they can see Gina's video and reads comments admiring her. That moment lights her envy even more. Hana takes the most direct step. She confesses to Sung-ho that she wants to date him when the contract ends. She even proposes a similar contract, promising she would treat him well. Sung-ho rejects her and makes it clear that he loves Gina and that the contract doesn't define anything anymore. Hana gets furious. She feels she tried, suffered, humiliated herself, and even so he only looks at Gina. Gina appears and sees them talking. Even though she doesn't make a scene, it's clear it hurts. Hana understands Sung-ho isn't acting. He truly is Gina's boyfriend. And then Hana drops the public bomb. She leaks the contract. The photo of the contract starts circulating all over the school, and suddenly everyone looks at Gina like she's a manipulator who uses others. In the hallways you hear whispers, in group chats people share screenshots, and copies even get posted around the school. Gina collapses reading comments and hearing rumors. Some accuse her of playing with feelings, others mock her saying it was all theater. On top of that, people start approaching Gina to support her, but it's obvious several just want attention or gossip, which makes her distrust everything. Sung-ho, on the other hand, steps up to protect her. First he tries to talk to Gina, but Hana gets in the way and tells him Gina doesn't want to see him, that she's upset, that she doesn't want to talk. Sung-ho, still naive, believes her for a moment, and that small lie makes Gina feel even more alone. But Sung-ho realizes that if he stays quiet, the school will destroy her. So he decides to do something big. He goes into the school's broadcast room, goes on air, and tells the whole story. Sung-ho admits the relationship started with a contract, but explains that he always loved Gina and that the contract was his only way to get close. He clarifies that Gina never used him, that he chose to be there. And in front of everyone, he announces he is canceling the contract, because it's no longer a piece of paper. Now it's real love. He also says he disappeared for a while because he was tearing down and collecting copies of the contract that had been posted around the school to humiliate her. The message changes the atmosphere. Many students go quiet and are moved. Sung-ho gets punished for using the radio without permission, but he doesn't regret it. Gina, hearing him, fills with strength. She goes to find him and confirms what she can't deny anymore. She loves him too. For the first time she says it without excuses, without contract, without a mask. Gina confronts Hannah, and Hannah doesn't deny it. She says she did it out of jealousy, out of hate, out of feeling that Gina always gets everything. Fame, opportunities, attention, and even Sung-ho's love. Gina is left shattered because Hannah was her best friend. Even so, she decides not to break herself any further over someone who tried to destroy her. Hannah stops going to class. Little by little, the school calms down and accepts the relationship. Tak, even though it hurts, also understands Gina has already chosen and decides not to interfere. He even admits at one point that when he was with Gina he took her for granted, and that now he understands the damage he caused. Gina, with her heart still soft, looks for Hannah to try to close the story properly. She asks her to come back to school, tells her she's sorry if she ever made her feel inferior, and reminds her of everything they lived through together. Hannah agrees to be friends again with one condition: that Gina stay away from Sung-ho. In other words, that she hand over what she loves to recover a friendship that is already poisoned. That condition ties Gina in knots. In parallel, Sung-ho at home looks at a photo of his mom and grows thoughtful. It hurts him to see Gina suffering, and it also hurts him to imagine losing her because of other people. His dad notices his sad face, asks what's wrong, and drops a simple line: if he loves her, don't let her go. Sung-ho decides that no matter what happens, he will fight for what's real, not for a piece of paper. Hannah, seeing Gina hesitating, tries her last move. She intercepts Sung-ho and convinces him to go out with her one day. She does it with emotional pressure, insisting it will be just an outing, and that it will close the issue. They go out, eat, take photos, listen to music. Hannah feels happy, as if she is finally living what she dreamed of. But that outing becomes a bomb, because Gina sees them together. Gina doesn't make a scene. Her face changes for a second, and then she pretends normal. She goes on with her day like nothing happened, but inside she breaks apart. Tak, meanwhile, takes the chance to push Hannah. He tells her the contract ends today, and that it's her opportunity. Hannah grabs onto that like it's a victory. Sung-ho, on the other hand, feels uncomfortable, because he understands that outing wasn't innocent, and it only left more wounds. In those days, Sung-ho does a gesture that shows how much he loves her. He discovers the traffic light near Gina's house is dangerous and contacts public services or whoever is responsible to get it fixed. Gina finds out through a call and is left in shock. That kind of care doesn't come from a contract, it comes from real love, because he did it without telling her. Gina feels grateful, but also overwhelmed. Between Hannah pressuring, the recent scandal, and her own heart, she doesn't know how to act. She distances herself a bit from Sung-ho and avoids conversations, as if that could delay the decision. At one point, she even cries and says they broke up, more out of confusion than lack of love. Tak hears her and, for the first time, instead of manipulating her, he shows his human side. He advises her to fight for what she feels. He tells her that if she truly loves, she shouldn't give up because of pressure or guilt, and that sometimes you have to choose what builds, not what destroys. That advice, coming from Tak, hits differently. Gina meets with Hannah and finally understands that friendship is no longer healthy. She tells her that a friend doesn't humiliate, doesn't betray, and doesn't force you to choose. She decides to cut Hannah off and stay with Sung-ho, not out of stubbornness, but because Sung-ho has been real support. He protected her, defended her, encouraged her to believe in her talent, and stood up to the whole school for her. At the exact moment Gina makes that decision, Sung-ho arrives. They look at each other, move closer, and understand each other without needing speeches. They reconcile and finally leave behind the idea of the contract as a cage. Hannah ends up distancing herself from the school, unable to accept what happened. Gina and Sung-ho truly begin. Over time, they laugh about how everything started with a desperate agreement and ended in something real. And to close the cycle, they make a new contract, but this time symbolic. An agreement to stay together without lies, without pressure, and without fear. That way, Gina not only finds love, she also finds real support for her dream. And Sung-ho stops admiring her from afar and becomes the person who walks at her side, face to face, with everything that means. The moral the drama leaves us is that perfection on the outside doesn't erase the chaos on the inside. Being the star can look like privilege, but it can also be a cage. When everyone expects excellence, you learn to smile even while you're breaking. The mind gets used to hiding exhaustion so you won't fail. But what's real begins when someone sees you as a person, not as an image. And then you understand, being strong isn't about enduring, it's about asking for help in time.